You spent 8 hours in bed, but when the alarm starts blaring, you wake up feeling a profound, heavy exhaustion that makes the simple act of sitting up feel like a physical struggle. Society frames this state as a badge of honor, a simple byproduct of a busy life that can be solved by pushing harder or drinking more coffee. For millions of people, sleep quantity has become decoupled from systemic recovery. Total unconsciousness provides very little benefit if the nervous system remains in an active state throughout the night. We have to examine what the brain is actually doing during those 8 hours, while the body lies motionless in the dark. That persistent feeling of being drained acts as a biological feedback signal, indicating a hidden systemic crisis that willpower alone cannot fix. This neurological state is known as hyperarousal. It occurs when a stressed nervous system loses the ability to power down after a long day. The HPA axis is the body's primary stress response system. Ideally, it activates for a challenge, then returns to baseline rest. But chronic daytime stress forces this neurochemical loop to stay open, keeping adrenaline and cortisol circulating long after the eyes close. To visualize this, imagine a car parked in a dark garage for the night. The headlights are off and the doors are locked, but under the hood, the engine is still revving at its limit. When the brain's threat detection system stays permanently activated, physical rest becomes biologically impossible, regardless of the time spent in bed. Chronic alertness physically alters the structure of the brain. It forces neural pathways to prioritize basic survival mechanisms over complex thought and emotional regulation. In this brain scan, we observe heightened localized neurological activity. The amygdala, processing fear, becomes hyperactive, while the prefrontal cortex loses its processing power. This specific imbalance shrinks the hippocampus and suppresses the reward system, directly contributing to severe brain fog. This overloaded state is like a modern computer attempting to run hundreds of demanding applications simultaneously without ever shutting down. Burnout serves as an intentional, protective biological shutdown mechanism designed by the brain to force the body to a halt when the cost of staying alert becomes too high. Data indicates that approximately 80% chronic exhaustion often remains a tangible medical mystery that requires professional clinical investigation to solve. The brain possesses the physical ability to rebuild itself through neuroplasticity. Rebuilding the system requires biological interventions, like morning sunlight and regulated breathing, to send safety signals to the nervous system. Targeted therapies, like cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, physically rebuild the regulatory connections between the prefrontal cortex and the emotional centers. These interventions allow the brain to physically repair and reconnect its neural pathways, signaling that the environment is once again safe for deep rest. Exhaustion provides proof that the nervous system has been carrying too much, and prioritizing intentional rest serves as the biological foundation of human recovery.